So what's going on, guys? I am Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another video where today we're going to be taking a look at cancelled weapons from Call of Duty Zombies. From the very beginning, back in World at War, all the way to Cold War. Some of these weapons, if we did get them, are very cool. You can class some of them as perks, but perks that give you weapons. There are many reasons why things get cut from video games. For every game, there's always going to be cut content. Not only weapons, but perks, maps, game modes and features, but what I wanted to do in this video is go over cut weapons. Anyway, so getting straight into it, and these are in no particular order, but the first cut weapon I want to show you guys is the Sabretooth. Now, I remember talking about this a long time ago, and that's because this was originally intended to be in the original Black Ops. The only remaining evidence we have left of this weapon are its animations, weapon stats, and untextured models. If you go into the game files, it tells you it had a massive magazine of 999 and a reserve of 999,000. Which you would presume, since it's essentially a chainsaw, the magazine is gas, and it would run through that gas pretty quickly, in a way similar to the flamethrower in World at War. It would also seem that another variant called the Sabretooth 360 was also planned, which had a much smaller magazine, the size of 8, and both of these weapons were pack-a-punchable. So there was supposed to be a chainsaw in Black Ops. If you're wondering what this was supposed to look like, it's not your regular chainsaw. This is what it looks like in the game files. It's clearly unfinished, but the spikes or the chains that you would usually get are a lot bigger than a usual chainsaw, especially the end. Got almost like a moving star on there. Perhaps this one was specifically designed to kill the undead. There is also unused tech string for this weapon in Black Ops 2. However, more than likely this was just a placeholder when certain files were ported over. If it was never used in Black Ops 1, I don't think they were ever planning to use it in BO2. Why they cut it from the game, I don't know, because like I said earlier, we had a similar weapon to this in the flamethrower. It worked very similar, how its ammo was used. The flamethrower was a medium distance weapon, this one would be close, almost like a melee weapon. Its damage output wasn't actually that high, it said it was 375. The zombies back in World at War and Black Ops 1 started with 150 health. Every round that you went up, they gained 100 health, meaning by the time you got to round 4, this would stop becoming an insta-kill, but because of the large ammo, it's difficult to say how overpowered it would be, or underpowered. Nevertheless though, it's still a very cool weapon. A chainsaw is something we haven't got in zombies. I don't think we've got anything similar to this. We've had shovels, machetes, katanas, but a chainsaw sounds unique. I'd love to see it brought back, but I can't see it happening. Anyway, moving on, the next cut weapon I want to show you guys is the Death Machine. Now, of course, we've had the Death Machine in Zombies before. It is in BO1, it's also in BO3, but a new version of the Death Machine, a power-up, was actually planned to release in Black Ops 4. Rather than taking its usual appearance as a minigun, which is what we see as a special weapon, if you're confused, yes, the Death Machine is in the game, but it's a special weapon. This time, it would have taken the appearance of a belt-fed machine gun, but this version was never added to the final product. You can see here, this is what it was supposed to look like. If you compare this to the Death Machine we have in BO4, it is quite a bit different. Does it make a massive difference? I don't think so. We don't have any stats, so I can compare if one Death Machine was supposed to be more powerful. Why they changed it, I'm unsure. Having a powered up Death Machine in BO4 perhaps wouldn't make the most sense. If it was a special weapon, then also giving it to us in a power up version maybe would be a bit too much. Next up on my list of cut zombies weapons, we have Richtofen's head. This was originally intended to be in Call of Duty Black Ops 2 on the map Mob of the Dead. It was exclusive to the grief mode and would work as the map's version of zombie flesh. So when you threw it, the zombies get attracted to it. The head itself, as you can see, is Ultimus Richtofen. Furthermore, there are also audio files of this in the game. You can hear the head say on several occasions things such as it will start screaming out. It also had an animation where it would bite out, and thankfully someone called Sandansk, I will link his channel down in the description, has taken this head and recreated how it would work in Mob. I'm pretty sure the actual animations he wasn't able to put into Mob of the Dead, which is why the video looks a little bit shiny, along with Richtofen's head being unfinished. But this gives us a great idea of what it was supposed to look like. This is epic. If you've never played Grief, there is a piece of meat that you pick up, and wherever you throw it, the zombies get attracted to it. So to have Richtofen's head replace that, you throw it and the zombies go towards it. It's a neat idea. I don't know why it was specific to Mob of the Dead. That part doesn't make sense to me, and why they cut it from the game. And to give you even more proof that this was a thing, there was an interview with Jason Blundell where he mentioned the zombie head. He actually called it the snapping Richtofen head. But yeah, Richtofen's head was supposed to be a power-up, similar to the zombie flesh, that you would throw and the zombies would go towards it. Anyway, moving on, the next thing I want to show you guys is something called Brains. This was a secret weapon we could use on World at War, Black Ops, and in a way, BO2. I say in a way because it wasn't cut from BO2. This was the weapon we could use as a zombie on Turned, so essentially Zombie's Hands. But this feature originally was supposed to be on World at War and Black Ops. You might have seen gameplay of this before, and the reason for that is you can actually access it on PC. If you just type give zombie melee into the console commands, or type give all, and then you cycle through all of the weapons, you could access Brains. The weapon or hands itself wasn't too great. It only did 50 damage, meaning it'd actually take you several hits to kill a zombie even on the first round. It's worse than a knife. And to think we could have had this all the way back in World at War 2008 when zombies first started, for that time would have been very unique. When you attack zombies with this by pressing the fire button or the melee button, the character would groan and yell like a zombie while swiping at anything in front of him, and when you dropped this weapon using the console commands, it would just simply disappear. As you could imagine, you couldn't pick it back up again. This is most likely due to the fact that it's not actually meant to be used in game, but Treyarch did put it in there in World at War. There is no other instance I can think of where it would have been used, but if we could access it through the console commands, they could have very easily given it to us as a weapon if they wanted. Yes, we got it finally in Black Ops 2 and Turned, but it's only available to use as a zombie. Being able to use zombie hands as a person, it's just something you can't replicate. Unrealistic, yes, not something I can see us getting now, but I think for World at War, just to give us this as a secret weapon we could get, I would have preferred to have had Brains instead of the sniper from the cabinet in Nakda and Toten, but hey, it is what it is. Next up, I want to talk about the Apothecon Servant. Now, you may be asking, Eli, what are you on about? We already have the Apothecon Servant in Shadows and Rev. It's already a weapon, but I'm talking about the Pack-a-Punched version. You may remember in Shadows of Evil, there was this massive Easter egg, or should I say rumours, that the Apothecon Servant in some way can be upgraded and Pack-a-Punched. And this was actually possible very early on using a glitch. You could upgrade the Apothecon Servant in Shadows, but this was fixed very quickly with an update. Jason Blundell did say in an interview that the Apothecon Servant can't be upgraded in Shadows of Evil. It was finally upgradable properly in Revelations, but we were able to do it as a glitch early on in Shadows. It's debatable as to whether Treyarch in the early days of development intended for the Apothecon Servant to be upgraded. If we can Pack-a-Punch it and it actually makes a difference, that makes me think that it was. If it was Pack-a-Punchable early on, why would they remove this? Well, the Apothecon Servant is pretty powerful as it is, so maybe they thought it would be very OP. We do have other special weapons such as the swords and Shadows. There's also the robot that helps us out, so maybe it just made the map too easy, or it was never a thing. Or wasn't supposed to be anyway. And then finally, in terms of cut weapons, there are a bunch of regular guns, not compared to these crazy ones. So the flamethrower was actually intended to be on 5 in Kino der Toten. The AK-47 was supposed to be in Black Ops Zombies. There is a half-finished version of it in the game files, but it can't be Pack-a-Punched and it's missing sound. But we were supposed to get an AK-47 in Black Ops. Along with that, some more cut weapons were the Grim Reaper, the Mini Uzi, the KS-23, extra Pack-a-Punched variants of the WA-2000, the Stoner 63 and the Scorpion. And then for BO2 we had a couple of cut weapons, the Spaz-12 and the Dragunov. And there we have it. A bunch of weapons that were supposed to be in Zombies. Let me know in the comment section below if you think any of these should have stayed in the game, which ones, if any, are you glad got removed. If you have enjoyed the video, drop a like rating, make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content, and as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, goodbye.